Hi, I don't know if anyone's out there on Facebook land. Come and say hi if you are. I know I haven't been live on here for a really long time, but I just thought I'd jump on today and then talk to you a bit about mission, the importance of having a mission. My life is changing a lot and my work is changing because I've found my mission in life. And I really think it's really important for writers to have this, to know what it is they believe, what it is they cannot stand in this world and want to change, and what they would really alter if they were like intergalactic sort of mermaid unicorn princess for the day. And I think that's the thing that makes you brave, because the fear we have, hi, I think that's Catelyn. The thing is, we cannot, have fear when we have a really big mission that will see us through that. So I've been thinking about this a lot more because, I've been doing writing coaching for the last 6-7 months or longer actually. But now I'm coming out as a feminist book coach for women with big things to say, and that's coming out in the next month or so. My new revamped accent on revamped website with a big vamp. And what I'm doing this for is because I've discovered my mission. I've been working with Jo Casey, a brilliant coach, and she asks us to think about our why, which is a concept from Simon Sinek. He's got a book and a TED Talk called Start With Why. And he's kind of a hot dude, really. Sharon does make passes with guys and make glasses. But he also is very, very smart. And he says, starting with your why, knowing why you do things can guide you and keep you strong, basically, and attracts other people with that similar why to you. So it's become really important to me that I basically start to practice what I feel very deeply in my heart in terms of my politics and my beliefs. So I've worked with women as writers predominantly over the last, I don't know how long, as an editor, as a writing coach, as a writing teacher, and I'm surrounded by women writers in my private life and in groups. So I see that more women write than men. Right, that seems to be the statistical thing as well. But when I started looking into the research on this, more men are still being published than women. It's still harder for us girls to get published. And then if we do manage to get published, we don't get as many reviews, we don't get as many awards. Even if you write about a woman and you're a guy, you're less likely to win a big literary prize. It's crazy, right? It's just absolutely crazy, and I'm basically calling bullshit on that with my new coaching practice, and I want to help more women not only navigate the difficulties of the kind of the bias, the gender bias of the publishing industry that exists, but I also want them to deal with something which is much more insidious and deep and we don't really consider, which is how we as women have more difficulties becoming writers and becoming professionals in that literary world because of the way that our culture has made us play small. I just wrote an article about, because I love Tara Moore's Playing Big, and it's all about, Tara Moore's very right about how we're all very full of self-doubt as women. We're taught to think, who am I to write this book? Who am I to go out there and submit it to an agent? Who am I to promote it? And there's a lot of ways in which we're encouraged to doubt ourselves very profoundly, and this means we don't succeed. So I think it's not just the bias in publishing that's causing the figures to be off for women and for us not to succeed as writers, but it's also this inner fear and inner kind of complexity and a whole cultural conditioning which is getting in the way. And that's something I deal with a lot. I'm a Martha Beck trained coach, so I deal with people's limiting beliefs and issues, and I want to get to this so people can feel that they actually can finish their book and they can get out there and it's okay. It's scary being a woman writer. It's scary being a woman in our culture in public because women get vilified. We know if they succeed or if they're out there being ambitious, you're a bitch or whatever it is. We're used to having mud slung at us. So I want to help women not only start writing, because a lot of the time we've been told our creativity isn't valuable, from birth it's not seen as economically valuable, so it's kind of taken away from us after we're children. And then I want to help people actually write books, whether that's a novel, a memoir, because a lot of people I know have wonderful experiences, inspiring stories. You know, they've walked to hell and back, a lot of the women I know, and that could really touch other women. And also I'm doing book proposals for people who are like bloggers and healers and entrepreneurs, and coaches like myself who have a kind of game-changing book that they want to make them a thought leader in them, and that needs a book proposal, which is another thing. And then I have packages I'm going to be helping people submit, because I know that whatever you're writing, that submission process can be difficult. You know, the world I inhabit, that, you know, as a writer and as an editor and coach is full of gatekeepers, and you have to know how to approach writers and editors in a certain way, and you also have to have your work ready. Look, too many people I think get a lot of painful rejections because they're not ready, and their material isn't, their query letter isn't right, for instance, or the chapters just aren't ready. So I want to be there, like, protecting my clients and making sure that they don't send out till they're ready, and they just go out there and kick ass. Because the ultimate mission I have is that I want more women's books out there changing the world. Because I think this point in time, we've never needed a diverse selection of women's voices more than now. So that, you know, I mean, just look at it. I mean, UK, I'm in the UK, and we have Brexit and a right-wing government and austerity, and we're really feeling the pain of that. And I know the Donald and America and everything. It seems as if women's rights and LGBT rights are being kind of bombed back to the 1950s. So that's another reason why I'm doing this. It's like, I have been a feminist since I was 13. I was reading Simone de Beauvoir at 13. I was going to see Gloria Estefan. It would be really cool, but I didn't. Gloria Steinem speak at when I was 19. So and then I went on and I went to university and I studied with a lot of top feminist scholars and got a PhD looking at Renaissance masculinity. So gender and sexuality and feminism have always been part of my life, and now I want to make it part of my work. And this is my motherfucking mission, people. Excuse my language, but it is now. And whenever I think of that, because I was scared to get on today, you know, I haven't been on here live for a long time, but I really wanted to say something because I feel so passionately about this work. And recently I've been doing a lot of research calls and talking to a lot of writers, amazing women writers from all over the world and all kinds of backgrounds with amazing things to say. And I am so determined to use my skills as a writer, editor and coach to ensure that these women's voices get heard. Because somewhere out there is someone who needs their story or needs their wisdom and their insights and their experience. So it could be the one person who is feeling no hope right now, and they might need your book, and they may need your novel to cause them, you know, to change someone's life. It could cause them to write, or it could cause, you know, them to go out and speak out about what's important to them. So that is my mission, and that's what keeps me strong right now. Hi Layla, how are you? I love the hearts. It's good to see you. Yeah, if you've got any questions for me about my work, what I'm doing, or like if you're just about books and editing and writing, if you're thinking of writing a book, just put, you know, just use me as a resource while I'm online, you know, just pop online and just ask me anything you want. But yeah, I would just want to ask you, really, you wonderful people out there, and I know quite a lot of you on Facebook personally, but some I don't. Oh, thank you, lady. Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, I'm still in this phase of doing a lot of work, rewriting my website and my programs and talking to a lot of people. But I feel like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And once you get that fire, it's like, yeah, the sense of mission, it makes you feel really badass. Because I know I'm going to get flack as a feminist. This work hasn't really been done. You know, there are a lot of writing coaches, but there are not really any feminist writing coaches. And I really think, not only because of the things I've said about the literary world and about women's own fears, but there's also a very practical reason why women aren't getting shit done in the literary world. And that's because they are, you know, studies show that they often do 2 hours of, hey, domestic work and, you know, childcare. So men writers can kind of, you know, park their kids over with their wives or something and get on with their stuff. Thank you. I really want to help a lot of women. That's my joy. But I also want this practice to be inclusive. So I want my trans sisters to come to me who want to write. I want gay men and bi men and straight guys who also suffer with the patriarchy to come and work with me. Because my feminism is about that inclusion, and I think we don't change things unless we all go up together. And I know, I studied masculinity. I know that masculinity doesn't serve anybody really but the elite top males. The rest of them are exploited as well and having have toxic effects from it. So you don't have to just be a woman to work with me, but if you have an idea and you think I've had enough of this shit as well, I'd like to go and work with Sharon, then please do. So that's it. So it's think this week about your mission. In my Facebook group, I have a thing called Motivation Monday, because I am a life coach as well. That's part of my snake oil salesman charm. So think, what is my mission in life? What am I here for? What do I want to leave better than when I arrived? I think one of the reasons why I studied a very elite thing, really, lots of men called Renaissance humanists. But one of the reasons I think they studied Latin and Greek and all this sort of fancy pants stuff. But one of the reasons I think I like them is they believe we weren't born for ourselves, and that our writing and our studying and our education has to be there to change the world. And that's how I feel. I have very passionate feelings about social justice. There are so many things I want to change, but I can only pick a corner. So I'm picking my corner. Yeah, I do believe that, gender is performative. It's a performance. I love RuPaul, and she says, we're born naked and the rest is drag. And I agree. But there are also things going on in the world, like women dying in childbirth, women in sex trafficking, the gender pay gap. I mean, on and on and on, which shows that being born with a certain biology means that everybody treats you differently. And as I said, in that it's still happening in the literary world, which is unbelievable. I mean, this is why J.K. Rowling used initials. I mean, my word, that always makes me, a bit frightened. And people have sent in manuscripts to agents and got a better response under a female name than and a male name than a female name. It's just bonkers. So it's real, the struggle is real, peeps. But feminism's the thing for me. Women and writing is the thing for me, because they're my passions. But what are your passions? What are your missions? What is the thing that can make your work and your life meaningful? And straight away it'll give you strength, I promise you. Fear is no match for a mission. So anyway, I just wanted to pop on and talk about that a little bit today. It's nice to see a few of you. I should have just posted that I was going to be on, but I just thought I'd do it before I got chickened out. But anyway, I shall pop off again now and go and start my work for the day. And I wish you all a very good day, whatever time it is you are. Because I've got friends all over the world, I know. If you're just starting the day, or if you're at the end of the day, if you're in Far East Asia and Australia. But I send you big kisses, and get your mission going. If it's saving the meerkats or helping stray cats or whatever it is, find your why, find your mission. And if you ever feel like you're writing a book and you don't know if you can do it, or you don't know if you can finish it, or you don't know how you're going to find time, think of your one ideal reader, that woman who needs you and your work so much, or your younger you who needed to hear what you have to say now as a wiser, older you. Anyway, okay, thank you for listening if you're out there. Love you all. Take care. Bye.